I want you to picture something for a second. It's 2015. You're watching Asia's Got Talent. And there's this tiny 10-year-old girl on stage in the Philippines. She's holding a guitar that, frankly, looks way too big for her. And she is just absolutely destroying Katy Perry's Roar, just belting it.
A classic viral moment. That was Gwyn Dorado.
Right. Now, cut to last month, January 2026. That same girl, now 21, is on a stage in Seoul, South Korea.
Big difference.
It's a huge difference. And she's facing a panel of the scariest, most respected judges in the entire K-pop industry. And she doesn't just survive, she pulls off the highest score in the history of the show, Sing Again for.
It is a wild, wild trajectory. I mean, we were talking about someone who went from a local child prodigy in Manila to a runner-up on a major Korean survival show.
And as a foreigner, competing against native speakers.
Exactly.
And that's what we're digging into today. This isn't just a biography. If you want her Wikipedia page, go read it. We've got a stack of sources articles from Jung Daily, interviews from the Manila Bulletin, performance transcripts, the works.
But our mission is specific.
It is. We want to act like musical geneticists.
I like that image.
We're going to try and sequence her musical DNA. She's mutated her style, 3 or 4 times over the last decade?
At least.
We want to figure out what those strands are so we can actually predict what her next song is going to sound like.
It's a fascinating puzzle because her career, it just defies the usual logic. Usually an artist finds a lane and they stick to it.
Right. If you're a power vocalist, you sing power ballads.
Or if you're an indie songwriter, you stay in that coffee shop vibe. Dorado has somehow done everything.
Which brings us to the very first strand of this DNA, the Powerhouse Foundation. We have to go back to that 2015 Asia's Got Talent era.
Right. So she's 10. She's singing Titanium by David Guetta and Sia. She's singing Nobody's Perfect by Jessie J. What's the common denominator there?
Lungs. Just pure volume.
Exactly. It's high drama, high difficulty. The sources often call this traditional Filipino power singing. It's a very specific cultural style.
But think about the greats like Regine Velasquez.
It's about technical precision and the ability to just blow the roof off the arena.
It's almost athletic, right? Look how high I can jump vocally.
That's a perfect analogy. And for a 10-year-old, that athleticism is what gets you votes. It's undeniable.
Okay, but here's something she said in an interview, that she graduated from YouTube University.
I love that phrase.
Me too. But it's also a bit of a cliche these days, isn't it? Every kid learns on YouTube.
True, but think about the implications of that. Before YouTube, you needed a vocal coach, a conservatory. You needed money.
Sure, access.
YouTube University represents the democratization of elite vocal training. She was watching the best singers in the world, frame by frame, mimicking their breath control, their placement. Her dad gave her some pointers from his choir days, but largely. She built that massive voice by mimicking digital ghosts.
So her foundation is this incredibly technical, almost mimicry-based power. She can sing anything because she learned by copying the hardest songs in the pop canon.
Precisely. But that leads to a trap. If you only mimic, you just become a really great cover artist. You don't become an artist.
And that brings us to the first major mutation in her DNA.
The slump.
The slump. Can we pause on that? She talks about hitting a slump after Asia's Got Talent. She said she felt like she had used up all her ink. She was, 12? 13?
It sounds absurd, right?
Yeah.
How does a middle schooler feel washed up?
Yeah.
But it's actually classic child prodigy burnout. When your entire identity is the kid with the big voice, what happens when you grow up? The novelty wears off, and then the pandemic hits.
Right. COVID shuts everything down. No more stages, no more applause.
And this constraint is what forced the mutation. She couldn't rely on the spectacle anymore. She was stuck in her room, so she picked up a pen.
This is where she releases Why Do We Love in 2023. And looking at the charts, this thing just went nuclear.
Oh, absolutely. 11 million views on TikTok. Topped the Spotify viral charts in the Philippines for weeks.
But listen to the track. Is it Titanium?
Not at all.
Bullying.
It's vibey. It's chill. It's R&B.
Right. The Powerhouse is just gone. She swapped the high notes for texture. It's breathy. It's intimate. It sounds like something you listen to at 2 a.m., not something you scream in a stadium.
So was this a calculated move? Did she look at the charts and say, okay, lo-fi R&B is trending, I'll do that? Or was it genuine?
That's the million-dollar question.
But here is a crucial detail from the sources. This specific track is what got her signed to AO Entertainment in Korea.
Wait, really? The Korean agency signed her for the vibey bedroom pop song, not the powerhouse vocal.
That's the key. They didn't fly her out to Seoul because she could hit a high C. There are plenty of people in Korea who can hit a high C.
Right.
They flew her out because she showed she had songwriter DNA. She could capture a modern, streaming-friendly emotion.
That makes so much sense. The industry shifted. In 2015, TV competitions wanted big vocals. In 2023, streaming algorithms wanted mood. She adapted.
She did. And she was already experimenting with this kind of sad girl indie pop back home with songs like Tulala and her OST work. But the move to Korea, it took that emotional foundation and just pressurized it, which leads us to the Sing Again 4 era.
Okay, so she enters the show as singer number 59. And for those who don't follow Korean survival shows, Sing Again is huge. It's for forgotten or unknown singers who need a second chance.
And remember, she's a foreigner. She barely speaks the language at this point.
So you'd think she would play it safe, sing an Adele song, sing Dynamite by BTS in English or something.
The obvious choice, right? But she doesn't. She chooses As Time Goes By from the Reply 1988 OST.
And we should clarify for you, OST stands for Original Soundtrack. In Korea, K-drama soundtracks are massive business. They aren't just background music, they are cultural pillars.
Exactly. As Time Goes By isn't just a pop song. It's a heavy, emotional ballad that's deeply nostalgic for Koreans. For a 20-year-old Filipina to attempt that, it's incredibly risky.
If you mess up the pronunciation or the nuance, you look like a tourist.
You're done. But she didn't look like a tourist. She made the judges cry.
She crushed it.
She did. There's a quote here from Yoon Jong-shin. He's a legendary singer-songwriter. And judge thinks Simon Cowell, but with more artistic credibility.
Okay.
He said her style uses classical pop singing techniques. He noted that young Korean singers today don't really sing like that anymore.
That is so interesting. So because she studied the classics to learn the language and the style, she actually ended up sounding more classic than the native speakers her age.
It's the Reverse Hallyu Effect. She bypassed the current trends of K-pop, the fast rapping, the sharp nasal tones, and tapped into the old-school, chest-heavy emotional core of Korean balladry.
She calls herself the reincarnated singer, and it fits. She basically reincarnated a style of singing that was kind of fading away.
And she was obsessive about it. The notes say she stopped speaking English and barely called her family just to immerse herself in the Korean language.
That's dedication. That's the emotional depth DNA. She realized that in Korea, technique isn't enough. You need that specific Korean concept of deep, sorrowful emotion. And she proved she could channel that.
So, up to the finale. We have this picture, a technical powerhouse who mutated into an R&B songwriter and then evolved into a classic Korean ballad singer.
A perfect trajectory for a ballad singer. She was winning with the sad songs, but then the finale happens.
And she throws a complete curveball.
This is the moment that breaks the pattern. The song is Light Up, produced by Groovy Room.
Okay, context time. Groovy Room aren't ballad producers. They are the hit makers of the Korean hip-hop and R&B scene.
Right. Think of them like the Metro Boomin or Pharrell of Korea. They make slick, rhythmic, beat-driven tracks.
So she steps out, and she's not standing behind a microphone stand looking sad. She's dancing. There's a beat. It's hip-hop. It's R&B.
And the score she got, it's actually hard to believe, 799 out of 800.
Okay, I have to ask. Is that great inflation? Do they just hand out perfect scores at the finale to make everyone feel good?
Absolutely not. Sing, again, judges are notoriously stingy. They will nitpick your breath support. They will criticize pronunciation. To get a perfect 100 from 7 different judges with different musical tastes.
It's a statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
It means she didn't just sing well. It means she executed a full genre shift while dancing without a single technical flaw.
The only person who didn't give her 100 was Kyuhyun, who gave her a 99.
Which, knowing Kyuhyun, is basically 100.
True. But what does this light-up performance tell us about her DNA? Because it contradicts the whole sad ballad narrative she spent the entire season building.
It proves she has genre-bending DNA. It shows she isn't just a vocalist, she's a pop star. She can handle modern production.
And if you look at her other recent release, the OST What If for the show together, the sources describe it as having a sophisticated synthesizer loop and a danceable drum beat.
So she's signaling to the industry, I can make you cry, but I can also make you dance. She's widening her marketability.
Okay, so let's put on our producer hats. We have all these strands now. Number 1, the power from her childhood.
Yep. 2, the intimate R&B songwriting from the TikTok era.
3, the Korean emotional balladry from the show.
And 4, the modern hip-hop pop production from the finale.
So if you are her manager at Music Farm right now, What is the next song? What does she release to capitalize on all of this?
It's a tricky balance. If she goes back to a pure ballad, it feels like a regression after Light Up.
Yeah, step backwards.
But if she goes full dance pop idol, she alienates the people who fell in love with her emotional depth.
So where's the sweet spot?
The synthesis, I think, is a mid-tempo R&B pop fusion.
Break that down for me. What does that sound like?
Okay, so think of a track that has the groove of Light Up, that groovy room style beat. But the melody allows for those long, soaring vocal runs from her power days. It's not a weepy ballad, but it's not bubblegum pop. It's sophisticated.
So like SCA meets a K-drama OST.
Yes, that's the perfect vibe. It allows her to show off the songwriter identity. Maybe she writes the lyrics herself. But the production is polished enough for mainstream radio. It satisfies the critics who want vocals and the TikTok generation that wants a vibe.
And she's dropped some hints about collaborations, too.
She has. She explicitly said she wants to work with 10 centimeters, who is an indie acoustic legend in Korea, or Lee Young-ji.
Lee Young-ji would be insane. For listeners who don't know, she's this Gen Z powerhouse, a rapper, a comedian, a talk show host. She's loud, hilarious, and has this raspy, aggressive voice.
A collab with Lee Young-ji is the smartest move she could possibly make.
Why do you say that?
Because Lee Young-ji is cool. Dorado has the talent label, but coming off a competition show, you can sometimes look a bit manufactured, a bit television.
I see, yeah.
Lee Young-ji gives her street cred. It solidifies that light-up hip-hop trajectory.
Plus, their personalities match. Dorado is bubbly, Young-ji is just chaotic. The marketing writes itself.
Exactly. And regarding the language, I predict the next track will be heavily Korean. Maybe bilingual, but mostly Korean.
You don't think she'll pivot back to English to try for a global crossover?
Not yet. She worked way too hard for that local acceptance. She said she wanted Korean people to look kindly on her. If she releases an all-English track right now, it might feel like she used this show as a stepping stone.
That makes a lot of sense. She needs to cement her place in the domestic market first, establish the base, then expand.
Right. She's on a nationwide tour. She's signed to a top agency. The machinery's all there.
It's really a remarkable story when you zoom out. We started with a kid in Manila covering Katy Perry, and we've ended with a potential K-pop icon who is reshaping the industry rules.
And that connects to a bigger idea I've been thinking about. We mentioned Reverse Hallyu earlier.
Yeah, the idea of talent flowing into Korea rather than just out.
I think Dorado might be a prototype for something bigger. We've seen non-Koreans in K-pop groups before, Lisa from Blackpink, for example. But they are usually idols. They're part of a machine, trained from a young age in the system.
Dorado is different. She came in as a fully formed artist.
Exactly. She's a standalone vocalist. She proved that you can be Filipino, sing in Korean, write like an American R&B artist, and win over the most traditionalist judges in Seoul.
So she's paving the way for what? A-pop?
Maybe. Asian pop. A future where the DNA of the music matters more than the passport of the singer, where a talent from Vietnam or Indonesia or Thailand can come to Seoul, which is arguably the Hollywood of Asian music right now, and succeed on their own terms, not just as the foreign member of a girl group.
That is a massive shift. And if her $7.99 score is any indication, the industry is ready for it.
I will certainly be refreshing my feed waiting for that Lee Young-ji collaboration.
Same here. We'll be watching and listening to see if our genetic prediction holds up. Thanks for diving in with us.
Until next time.